What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? It's exactly what we're going to do this year. So let me make sure I got everybody on here. What if I told you, though, you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Would you try it yourself? Well, it is possible. And every day we're going behind the scenes to show you just how. So, what we're doing is we're building $1 million business and we're doing it in real time. There's no secrets, there's no script, there's no playbook. We're just building this baby up from scratch. And if you're just now joining me, hey, I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. I spent 15 years in executive leadership in healthcare and sold a technology company at the end of 2018. Since then, I've been on this journey to become the best entrepreneur possible. And in that process, the thing that I'm going to do today is we're going to level up together. We're going to build $1 million business and we're going to do it in 12 months. So, with that being said, that's the intro. Let's do this. Let's make sure we do some little housekeeping. Um, the comment section is going to be open. And what I ask for you to do is drop your first name, where you're streaming from. And just to give you some insight and education, we're streaming across Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, as well as YouTube. And I'm doing that strategically. One, because I want to reach the most amount of people possible. Two is once we get into the area where we start spending money, we want to know which platform is going to have the best return on investment, right? So you guys stick with me. Thank you for joining. If this is your first time joining, thank you. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter if you haven't, because we have two goals this year, right? The big goal is to build $1 million business. The second goal is to grow our subscriber list to 50,000 people or greater, right? So the first goal is really for you and I, so we can see if it's possible. The second goal is for me, 50,000 subscribers in one ecosystem. That's real power. There's real influence. That's an opportunity to start navigating your message and reaching the people who actually follows you as well. So we want to build your own system as well. So thank you for joining. Today we're going to be talking about, today's really is going to be a recap of what we learned last week. And then we're going to get into some of the metrics that are showing up today in the business so you can better understand where we are, which is going to help with our playbook as we map this thing out going forward. So your first name would be great, where you're streaming from, what platform you're streaming from. That's going to help me out tremendously. And listen, I appreciate you guys continue to show love. Listen, if you just joined and you're like, okay, man, this sounds impressive, I would like to learn more. Two things you can do. You can go to the link in my bio, or there's on the top right hand side, depending on where you're streaming from, there could be a QR code. You can scan that QR code, and then you can have all my information that's going to be in my Blink account. Follow me across all my different socials. You can subscribe to the newsletter. But the big thing that I want you to get out of that is you can watch these on replay. You can go to my YouTube page, watch this on replay, or you can go to my LinkedIn page. Underneath my events tab, you can see all the recorded videos that we've done before. People are starting to filter in. I see you, family. I see my TikTok family showing up. Love you guys. Appreciate it. Instagram is showing up as well. LinkedIn is there. Yo, YouTube, what's up, family? I see you. Okay, great. All right, so today's January 23rd. We're going to be talking about, it's going to be a recap of what we learned so far, and then the real metrics. I want to give you some metrics from what we're seeing, what the information is showing us, and what we're supposed to do with this information now that we got it. So we kicked this baby off January the 12th. So if we're looking at it today, we're 11 days into this thing. And let's see where we are 11 days into this thing. Remember, the chat box is wide open. If you have any comments, drop those comments. I try to work through them as we get through this agenda together. So thank you once again for joining. What if I told you we can build a $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? Listen, I believe myself. And every single day, we're going to go behind the scenes to show you basically how the sausage is made, how you can build your own $1 million business as well. I see you, Rob. Thanks for joining, big dog. Listen, growth isn't loud. Growth is directional. Some people think you need to be loud to grow, meaning you need to be extremely visible to grow. No, it's directional. We need to be highly focused. Metrics, you need to understand this. Metrics are feedback. They're not validation, okay? A lot of people think, okay, I'm getting some engagement, I'm getting some likes, I'm getting these things going on within my business, and it's going to make you this big superstar. It's going to make you this millionaire. It doesn't happen like that. Those metrics are feedback, and we need to dig into that feedback. And we're not trying to be validated. We're trying to understand, how do we grow this $1 million business? It's easy to chase numbers that don't pay you. This is what a lot of us start doing when we're building a business. We start creating stuff, whether it's content, pamphlets, PDF files. We create all this stuff, and we start sending it out, and we get a few people to like it, but it's not generating any business for your business, right? And this is where we want to get to is how can we get highly focused on creating things that's actually going to move the needle? Coffee, I see you, family. Thank you for joining. Let me see what else. So where we're getting at. So this episode, yeah, I thank you. I appreciate the love. So this episode is more about the clarity and not the celebration. Remember, we're building $1 million business from scratch. We're only into this baby day 11. We're going to get into what the numbers are showing us so far based off of the landing page that we set up, right? And then some of the posts that have went out over the last, let's say, 11 days now. So we're looking at that. So y'all stick with me. What we're measuring progress towards ownership and revenue. And that's what everybody should be measuring when you're building a business. What's your progress towards ownership and revenue? It's that we want to make money. We want to make money, but how do we make that money? We're going to get into this. I'm about to share the real data, not just theory. This is real data that's going on. Here's my opinion right here. And I always have an opinion. If you guys join me, y'all know I like to talk, so I'm going to give you my honest opinion every single time. If your metrics don't influence decisions, if they're not doing that, then it's just entertainment. Let that sink in. If your metrics are not influencing decisions, then they're just entertainment. If you're feeling busy, or should I say this, feeling busy, it isn't the same as building momentum. What we're trying to do is build momentum. We're building $1 million business. Builders track movement, not applause. Okay. We're building $1 million business where I'm not looking for people to clap me on the back, say, Pat, you're doing a good job, or I like your content. What I'm looking for are the people who start building out my funnel so I can share metrics with you, because that's how you know if your business is actually growing, right? So we're digging into some of that stuff. I see you, family. Thank you on Instagram. I see you joining YouTube. I appreciate you as well. TikTok, you keep continue to grow. All right, so let's do this. Let's look into really quick where we've been and where we are. We learned that systems beat isolated effort, right? Systems are so important. I will revisit the systems in another episode to specifically show you what the system looked like, what the tools that we're using, what the workflow looked like. And then we'll also get into like ad spend. Where are we going to spend our money? How much money we're going to spend? What measures are we looking for? All this is going to help us design our $1 million business. So the longer you stick with me, the more insights you're going to have, where I'll take you behind the scenes basically to show you how this business is constructed from the ground up. So there's a chain reaction. We talked about batching. We talked about batching. Was it this week or last week we talked about batching? But anyway, batching fuels, creates consistency. So we want to become consistent in building our business. Once your viewers see you, they know, oh, Patrick, he's dropping some more dope content. And I guarantee you it's going to be on topic. It's going to be on topic for where he's growing his business. So we know batching creates consistency, plus it frees up your time so you can actually focus on money generating activities, right? So if you're not batching, you want to get into batching. Consistency fuels visibility. When people start seeing you across social channels, when you start mapping out your content strategy, every time they see you, they know it's something of value. And this is what we're trying to get to when we're creating our $1 million business. Visibility also drives newsletter growth for me. The more visible that I am, the more people say, oh, he's that guy who's built Hustle 25-8, right? And he's that guy, he does this, that, or the other. He's that guy that's building $1 million business and he's doing it publicly. Few people is going to do this because they're scared as shit to share with you their failures. I'm going to fail a lot this year, but we're also going to win a lot. And we're going to take you really behind the scenes to show you how we do that. Newsletter growth sharpens also my ICP. And you need to be thinking about this. What is an ICP? This is your ideal customer profile. I see you, Instagram family. Thank you. Appreciate it. Your ICP. We're always focusing on making sure we get to our ICP, which is our ideal customer profile. What are those insights telling us about where we're going? What message? How's our messaging landing? And then more importantly, are people investing into the business that we're creating, right? ICP gives you clarity and it improves also your networking. Once you get extremely focused on who your business is for and how you map out that content, it's going to give you clarity. It's going to strengthen your message. It's going to reach your target audience faster, and you're going to get higher engagement. So we need all that information to help us construct our $1 million business. Also want to reinforce that nothing stands alone. You're never doing this by yourself. It always takes a team. And when I say a team, I'm a solopreneur, but one of the things that I'm doing in my business is I have AI agents that I'm training as well. These AI agents help offload some of the burden that I'm doing. If you haven't considered having an AI agent in your business and training one, you should consider doing this because it can save you time, money, and also energy as well. Later in a future episode, I will show you my AI agents, what each one of them actually does for me, and then also share with you the costs related with those agents as well. So you guys stick with me. I'm breaking down the entire game, how to build $1 million business from scratch. What if I told you you can build one in the next 12 months? Would you believe me? Would you even try it? Let me do it for you. You guys follow along, and then if we win this thing this year, then now I've already set the playbook that you can follow. And all you got to do is implement this going forward in your business as well. Weak links break momentum. I want to make it clear what we're working on is infrastructure, not hacks. If you're going to build $1 million business and you're going to do it in 12 months, infrastructure is everything. So basically, what does your foundation look like? If your foundation is not set up to win, then your set foundation is not going to take you to $1 million in 12 months. So what we need to be focusing on right now, which in the last 11 days we've been working on, is our foundation. Is the foundation strong? And the foundation may be weak in some areas. And this is where we're going to have to fix some of those cracks. And so we can firm it up so we can move forward as well. Remember, the chat box is always open. As you have comments, you got questions, you can drop those in the chats. I'm going to share with you some real numbers that we've already experienced so far. So that's coming up here in the next few minutes. Y'all stick with me because those numbers is going to help us decide the pivots that we need to make so we can get or farm up our playbook so we can get to that $1 million as well. All right. I appreciate you, family. I say everybody continue to join. I appreciate the love as well. Listen, people from all over the world be joining here. We got Australia, we got Nigeria, we got people from California, Texas. I mean, all over the world. So I appreciate the love. I'm glad you guys continue to join in and support your boy. Here's my opinion. Random efforts, they produce random results. Think about it. Random efforts produce random results. We're not trying to produce random results. We want to get clear results that's going to help us get to the million. Systems create repeatable outcomes. All right. So if we get our system right, we can repeat our workflow and our messaging to ensure that it aligns with our ICP, which is our ideal customer profile. And now we start moving the needle and money starts coming in. Right now, we're not there yet because we're still building that foundation. A 7-figure business or any 7-figure business that you're going to create, they're engineered. They're not improvised. So what are we doing? We're engineering what success looks like for us and our 7-figure business. Listen, I forgot to say something. We're growing this baby out to 50,000 subscribers and $1 million in revenue, and we're doing that in 12 months. I cannot do this by myself. I need your continued support. So with that being said, make sure you go through your contact list. You forward this to 10 people and say, hey, there's this guy called Patrick, goes by that healthcare guy. He has a playbook that he does every Monday through Friday at noon Central Standard Time. And what he does is he takes us behind the scenes on how he's building out his $1 million business. You should consider subscribing. That's your intro. That's all you need to say. Share this with them. More people that we have, the more impact that we can make, especially all those people, those mid-level professionals interested in growing their career. We're looking at those side hustlers that got that side business that they would hope one day becomes a permanent business. And then we got those entrepreneurs that have a permanent business, but that money ain't stacking up just right. We want to make sure that money stacks up just right. So continue to follow your boy. I appreciate the support and your love, but tell people to come join us as well, okay? Kiera from Charlotte, we'll see you in the house. Appreciate you, family. So we talked about our 7-figure business. Vanity metrics and real metrics. We're about to get into some metrics here really, really quick. So y'all stick with me a couple of minutes. Attention is cheap. We should already know that, right? But conversion is expensive. This is where a lot of business owners, mid-level entrepreneurs, side hustlers, they fall off because they're going after the attention and they think the attention is going to make dollars and cents. That's not the case. We're not looking for attention. We're not even looking for engagement, which is cool. I'm looking for conversion, and that's what we need to be focused on as well. Understanding conversion, you also need to understand it's not free. So just because you're putting out content, just because you have these playbooks, just because you host these webinars, just because you do anything that you do, you put anything in your business, if people are raising their hand and liking and engaging, that's great. But if they're not converting, then we don't really have a business yet. And to convert those people generally means we have to do something when it comes to some type of ad spend or we have to speak directly to our ICP, give them something of value that they want to invest in today, right? Remember, we just started this thing 11 days ago, so we're not there. But I can share with you where we are, okay? I want to call this out. Followers, vanity metrics. Likes, they're vanity metrics. Impressions, all vanity metrics right now, right? You say, well, I need all that information. Yeah, you need some of that information, right? Those numbers matter, but only at the top of the funnel, okay? Only at the top of the funnel, because we're going to create these funnels based off of some of these metrics, okay? Um, and then what we really care about, what we should be caring about together, is owning our audience. Okay, if you're a business owner, side business hustler, a career oriented person, you're trying to map out some moves right here. You need to own your audience. And what I mean by that, we know these platforms, wherever you stream it from, wherever you like to frequent the most, their algorithms change. If it's not a weekly basis, if it's not a monthly basis, they're definitely going to change within a year, several times within a year. And so what you did before in the past, it may have worked for you in the past, but if your business is not growing today, it's only because the algorithms continue to change. Imagine though, if you had an ecosystem of support, people who subscribe to you each and every week, they're interested in what you have to say. This is where ownership takes place right here. So what I would encourage you to do, if you're a small business owner, you're building out a newsletter, whatever it happens to be, you want to create some type of funnel where you collect people's information. Because once you have people's information, you own that information. Like people raise their hand and said, you know what, I would love for you to contact me. And so here's my email address. Or I don't mind for you to send me a text occasionally. Here's my phone number. This is what we're going after as a business owner. This is what you need. If we're going to create our $1 million, we need that kind of insight, or we need those kind of customers so we can help deliver our message, drive our revenue earnings through products or solutions or services based off of what our customers are looking for. Engagement depth, open rates and clicks. We're going to get into that. Relationship signals, DMs, and conversations. That's going to tell you whether or not your business is going in the right direction. Pipeline indicators. We're looking at leads. We're going to look at the calls that are booked, and then revenue. Right now, our revenue is lagging. In fact, we don't have any revenue right now, right? But that's not the final score. So let me share with you here in just a second where we at. I appreciate you, TikTok family. I appreciate you, LinkedIn, YouTube. All of you guys keep joining. You keep following. Hey, these are getting bigger and bigger daily. This is great. Remember, you can go back and watch this on replay. Use the link that I have in my bio. You can go to my YouTube page. You can watch these replays at the lives, or you can go to my LinkedIn page under the events tab. You can watch all the replays of these. And right now, this is episode 10. So we have 10 of these babies. They're only 30 minutes long. Remember, keep inviting people to come and join us. So here's my opinion. High engagement with no pipeline is a hobby, okay? You're building a business. If you have high engagement on anything that you do, PDF files, your content that you're putting out, your website, but nobody is actually buying, it's still a hobby right now, right? We're trying to move from a hobby into actually a business, okay? Revenue doesn't care about how viral you went. A lot of us, we start our business and we started all wrong altogether. What we start doing is we start creating content. I did it, okay? I'm telling you, you start creating content and we're looking for people to follow us. We look for people to like us. We're looking for that validation, but it's not making dollars and cents, right? What we're trying to make is dollars and cents. So revenue doesn't care how viral you've been. How many people you know, they went viral, but they got nothing to show for it. We don't care about that. Like, I'm not trying to be liked. I'm trying to make money, right? I'm trying to make money. The goal is to is leverage, not noise. So let's look at where we are now. I'm gonna pause really quick. Let me take a sip. You guys drop any comments you have. If you haven't, listen. If you subscribe to the newsletter and you're in here, like, put up a thumbs in the chat box. Let me know that, hey, I got family rocking with me. If you, I need to know I got some people in here that got my back. All right, let me know. All right, so this is where we're going to share some numbers with you really quick. Okay, I'll see you, family. Thank you. We're here now. We're talking about progress over performance. Okay, this is where we're at. Let me give you the breakdown of where we're at today. All right, let me see. I'm not even going to share my screen. I'm just going to share these numbers with you. 11 days ago, it's only been 11 days. 11 days ago, we kicked off, I kicked off building $1 million business. How am I going to orchestrate and build out $1 million business? Well, my lead in is I decided, let's do it with the newsletter. Okay. Because if I get a newsletter, if I can get a newsletter, I can actually get subscribers. And once I get subscribers, I can create an ecosystem. Once I have that ecosystem, I can build a funnel. Once I build that funnel, I can create products, brands, and solutions designed to solve some of the issues that some of the people that's in my ecosystem actually have, right? So this is how I'm orchestrating my business. So 11 days into this thing, this is where we sit. Today we have 4,660 people subscribed to the LinkedIn version of the newsletter, meaning they're getting separate content, but they're subscribed, right? The goal is to get those people over into the offline version of the newsletter. Okay. That takes some time. It takes some systems in place. It takes the right messaging. And some of those people may not even convert because where we're going today is different from what we were talking about on LinkedIn. We're building out a separate playbook for separate people. So these are the people who are interested in earning your million for your business. Or maybe you consider, man, I just want to build a business for myself. Like I want that freedom. I want that flexibility of not have to check in with the boss. I want to do my own thing. I want to be able to set up my own schedule. Maybe that's you. If that's you, tap in, join the newsletter because I'm teaching you guys how to build your $1 million business. So we started with LinkedIn, 4,660 newsletter subscribers on LinkedIn, right? Now in my newsletter platform today, we went up to 1,336. But then as I keep pushing out more and more content, what we start doing is filtering out the people that this doesn't make sense for. So you're going to see some attrition. All that means is we're going to have a drop off, right? We're going to have this drop off. And so far we're having somewhat of a drop off, but that's good. I'm not shitting myself yet. So here where we are. We went from 1,336 subscribers down to now we are at 1,271. We lost 65 over the course of 11 days. A lot of you guys would start your business and be like, oh, it's going backwards. This is not going to work. Sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward. You heard that before. Sometimes you take 2 steps back in order to go 2 steps forward. So that's where we are now. We want to take a step back. Let's look at where we are. Let's look at the numbers. What are they telling us? And how can we use this as insight to help us decide what pivots we're going to make going forward? I guarantee you here in 2026, there's going to be a lot of pivots that we're going to make. But the ultimate goal is not all the setbacks that we have. It's not about how resilient we are. It's about how well that we learn from what the data is telling us. And if the data tells us something and we need to pivot, then we're reacting properly, right? And sometimes we're going to pivot, but you don't pivot too early. You want to make sure this is substantial data, that's recurring data, and it makes sense. So LinkedIn newsletters, 4,660. Beehive, we're down to, or excuse me, my newsletter platform, we're down to, I see you, family, thank you. My newsletter platform right now, we're down to 1,271. So we're right at 1,271. But my audience today, we got over 5,900 people in my audience that every single time I post something, it comes to their inbox. You see what I'm saying? We're building out this $1 million business. So in your business, we want to own the assets, which is the people who subscribe to your business. So part of that strategy needs to be, let me collect the phone numbers, let me get email addresses, because if you don't have that, you rely on algorithms that may or may not impact your business, okay? So stay focused right now. So my own audience right now is over 5,900 people. I guarantee you that's going to grow as we keep going. In fact, it's already been growing exponentially. So what is my open rate right now? My open rate right now, 44.94%, which is, man, that's phenomenal. So over 45% of people that I send messages to, remember, we got 5,900. Over 4,500 of those people, 45% are opening in those messages, which is great. So that means you have an audience that every single time your name pops up in their inbox, they're looking forward to what you're saying, at least half of them. So that's dope, right? Some great insight. So that's going to help us decide what else we need to push at the top of the funnel. The other thing too is where are we at on the click rate, which is important at the terms, what are they clicking on in your posts, things like that. And right now, this is where we can use some improvement. Our click rate today is 1.74%. This is what I'm going to tell you. We're early stage, but that's some actionable data, which tells me that, okay, half the people opens up my stuff, but only 1.74 is actually reading this whole thing through, right? Now that's an issue. This is something we need to correct. Now, I don't want you to fall off the deep end and start drinking on the weekends because you're thinking, oh, my business is collapsing. No, we're still early. We're only 11 days into this thing. So we're not gonna shit ourselves right now. We're gonna focus on what can we keep doing to provide value, keeping people engaged longer, so they're reading all the way through. And then the other thing we need to look for, are they clicking on the links that you put inside your posts? Whether it's your business post, you have a newsletter like me that you're growing, whatever content you're putting out there, are they clicking and asking for more information? Are we driving them to some type of action, which the action that you and I are looking for? I want people to continue to invest in the business. We're growing $1 million business, and we're also growing our brand in the process. Okay, so relationship metrics right here. Now, this is what's dope. This is what's dope. This is look. This is what you guys have been doing for me. Okay, let me share this information right here. Just this week, since Monday, I've had over, right exactly, not counting today, 41 people who've slid into my DMs. 41 people about this, that, or the other. 41 people in 1 week. So I asked you, how many people are sliding into your DMs on a weekly basis? I'll pause there. You can drop it in the comments. Let me know. If you're getting 41 people a week sliding into your DMs that are interested in what you have to talk about, let me know. Your boy's getting 41. I got 41 last week. On top of that, I generated 5 leads. These are people who would like to do business with me. Like they would say, well, Patrick, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Can you help me with that? Right? These are leads, right? These are people that I would put in my top of the funnel. And then I booked 3 calls. These calls are of interest in how I can help other people. So I booked 3 calls. And then here's the other thing. Since we kicked off this newsletter, I had 527 people view my profile just on LinkedIn. I'm not even counting Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or the other channels that I'm streaming across. Just on LinkedIn, 527 people. So you can see the inbounds and expressions we're getting just because we became visible. Sometimes, and what I'm trying to teach a lot of these business owners right here, sometimes you have to be the face of your business, or sometimes your messaging has to be so much so that you're front and center in front of, like, this is your message. Okay, I see you, family. Appreciate the love. This is your message. So this is what we're looking for. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a game changer conversation, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to grow wealth, man. We're trying to get to that that $1 million business. And nobody's going to give you the playbook like I'm going to give you this playbook. It's going to be public. It's going to be visible. Here's the failures. Here are the pivots. Here's the money spin. Here are the workflows. Here are the systems. Here's the tools that I'm using. Here are the conversations that I'm having. So if we're looking at the numbers right now, 45%, we might as well say it's 44.9. So it's 45% people are actually opening our messaging, 1.7% click-through rate. So there's some improvement that we can do there. 41 people slid into my DM just last week. 41 people slid in my DMs. 5 leads were generated. 3 calls were booked. Over 500 people have viewed my profile just on one platform. So what does that mean for me as a business owner? These are people who are interested in what I have to say at some point. So what I can do is I can create a system to go back and connect with all those 500 people and have just a warm invite or DM to those people, just to see how we can collaborate or how I can provide some type of value in the future. You see how I created a lead generation system just by being visible? We can do that for your business as well, right? So this is where we're at. Here's the thing though. The big thing is, I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, how much revenue have we generated? $0. We got no money came into the business yet. No one has even bought my ebook yet. Speaking of that, go in the newsletter, buy my ebook. It's only $4.99. It's basically a playbook using modern terms to help you advance and elevate in your career. $4.99. Come on, it's a simple investment that's guaranteed to help you out. Remember, I'm the same guy that was featured on NBC News 5 talking about my book and talking about the value that it has as well. So right now, that revenue situation, it's not bothering me. It's not bothering me only because I know I'm building a foundation. I know I'm creating some strength underneath. I know I'm getting some early signals. As long as I can get that insight right now, I can build accordingly from this. Remember, we're only day 23 into the year, but only 11 days into the business. So I'm not crapping myself right now. I'm actually quite happy with where we are. So this is going to be great. Thank you, family. I appreciate that. Let me see. So our revenue is lagging behind, but we're building our foundation. We got 0 revenue, but it is a strong signal. Listen, some people, you can start out and you instantly get revenue, but then you start falling off, right? We can all get lucky occasionally. We don't want to get lucky. We want to build a system that actually generates money on demand, right? A recurring system. We're not trying to get lucky, right? Because luck is only going to last you so long. We want to create a system that's going to last us for a long time. So, zero revenue, weak signals right now. Builders optimize signals before scaling dollars. So this is where we are. We're building, we're optimizing our signals. Future stuff that's coming up. Future stuff that's coming up really quick. Next week, we're going to get into more deep stuff, and I know we're right at time. So next week, we're going to get into some of the product thinking, some of the monetization logic, scaling impact responsibility, build trust with purpose. Oh, I didn't even point this out, guys. Check this out. 3 people hit me up to feature me on a podcast. 3 people hit me up to feature me on a podcast. One of those people that has a podcast have over 300,000 active podcast listeners. You see what I'm saying? That's only because I chose to go visible. So what I'm sharing with you, 41 people DM me, 500 people viewed my profile. 3 people hit me up for a podcast feature. And then I also signed up for a contest that could actually pay me $10,000 if I win. And guess what we're going to do with that $10,000? If we win that baby, we're going to reinvest it back into the business so we can grow this thing properly. Listen, I'm at time. I want to thank you for continuing to join me. Next week on Monday, we'll be here again, 12 noon Central Standard Time. Make sure you share this with your friends. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter yet, do that right now. We're growing that baby to 50,000, and then share it with 10 people, okay? We need to do that as well. Hey, until next time, family, enjoy your weekend. Y'all be safe after. I know we're going to get some weather in some areas that's going to be coming in. But thank you guys for your continued support. Thank you for joining me. Let's build your $1 million business. Until next time.